Karoline Leavitt, one of the youngest and most outspoken figures in Republican politics, has long been known for her sharp soundbites, fierce loyalty to Donald Trump, and her no-nonsense style that positioned her as a rising star in conservative circles. Yet her recent attempt to reinvent herself as a social media influencer has left many observers questioning whether the carefully crafted image she built is beginning to crack, casting doubt on the future of her political ambitions and even raising questions about her relevance within Trump's White House orbit. Having once served as a press aide in Trump's administration, Leavitt had managed to connect with conservative voters by portraying herself as tough, grounded, and unshaken by liberal critics. But her latest venture featuring scripted Instagram, Reels, lifestyle content, and glossy influencer-style promotional posts has been widely perceived as tone-deaf, feeling less like a natural extension of her political persona and more like a desperate attempt to stay relevant in an ever-changing digital landscape. For a politician whose appeal rested on being authentic and relatable, the sudden pivot into influencer territory undermines the very qualities that once set her apart, and unsurprisingly, the backlash has been swift, with critics accusing her of looking more like a struggling content creator than a serious political voice, while even her supporters have begun to quietly question whether she is losing focus. Distracted by likes and views rather than policies and leadership, a troubling development for someone once touted as a future face of the Republican Party. Because if her reputation was built on substance and toughness, this influencer detour risks unraveling that foundation before it ever truly solidifies. Her predicament highlights the larger challenge faced by young politicians in the modern age, where mastering social media is essential to visibility, yet the curated, performative nature of platforms like Instagram and TikTok can just as easily backfire, making public figures appear out of touch or insincere. And for Leavitt, whose image is always hinged on being the real deal, a misstep in branding could carry long-lasting damage, perhaps irreparably weakening her credibility. In Washington, while some argue that this is merely a passing experiment in broadening her audience, others view it as a red flag, an indication that she may be more focused on the glamour of attention than the grind of building political legitimacy. And in the world of politics, where perception often outweighs reality, once an image begins to fracture, repairing it becomes nearly impossible, leaving a lasting stain that can derail even the most promising careers. Whether her influencer pivot proves to be nothing more than a temporary stunt or the early sign of a much deeper unraveling, what remains undeniable is that her path forward is increasingly uncertain. Her White House dreams still alive but threatened by the growing perception that she is more invested in personal branding than public service, and with every miscalculated move, the likelihood of implosion becomes stronger, turning what was once a promising story into a potential cautionary tale of how chasing influence can come at the expense of authenticity and political longevity.